Searching podcasts for Dave, and one more time.
In a 1-week period, we lost Malcolm Jamal Warner, aka Theo Huxtable, flugelhorn impresario Chuck Mangione, the reality TV star, rock legend, and Prince of Darkness Ozzy Osbourne, and the one and only Hulk Hogan. May they all rest in peace. For those idiots posting AI-generated pictures of these people smiling as they are greeted in heaven by Elvis, Marilyn Monroe, Jimi Hendrix, and Eddie Van Halen, well, okay. Never mind. Yes, that's exactly what happened last week. Where do you go to church? At the Waffle House? I don't think that's how any of this works. But, whatever. And speaking of not knowing how it works, this is Dave and Juan.
And 3.
Number 2.
1.
Woohoo!
America, you are
You're welcome.
100% absolutely welcome. Hi, everybody. How are you? I'm Dave.
I'm Juan.
And this is Dave and Juan.
More time.
I already apologized to everybody if I turn and cough. I think
like you got a little scratchy voice.
Well, you know, I caught one of those travel illnesses. I was on planes and in groups, and
those people weren't wearing masks, obviously.
You know, a lot of them are, which is kind of
Yeah.
it's kind of scary. But no, you know, you're in line and you got kids in line. It's all you hear.
Mm-hmm. Snot flying all over the place.
And you're like, okay. So, but you know, hey, sucking it up. So those of you watching the video, I may turn and blow my nose every now and then, but hey, there you go. We'll try to do this. But no, it's interesting week, good week. Time stamping this. We're doing this on a Sunday evening, and they say these things always happen in threes,
but it kind of happened in fours.
Well, and what we're talking about is famous people, celebrities, and whatnot, passing.
Dude, like bop, 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 bop.
Okay, so we all know the big one this past week was Chuck Mangione. That's sad. I'm not making fun of that, but I want to give a shout out. That's why he's the first one I say. Chuck Mangione was the man. He had
now what?
He played a flugelhorn.
But did he have a theme song for one of the shows? Or it was just
I don't know if it was a
odd
theme
that
song.
An instrumental made radio.
Yeah,
or made
he had a
top 40
song called
radio.
"Feel So Good." Those of you, and I don't know if the YouTube censors are gonna, I'm not gonna play it, but it went, da 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 da.
Yeah, started off real slow.
Oh man,
built up.
You can pull it up on, Spotify or whatever if you want.
I told my wife that. I said, "Man, Chuck Mangione died." She said, "Who?" I said, "Hang on," and I pulled it up. I said,
"Everybody knows when you hear it. You hear it for an instrumental. I mean, it's happened. Some instrumentals over the years have become hits, even #1 hits, like Jan Hammer had the Miami Vice.
Yeah, if they're part of like some TV show,
right? But that's not what. But anyways, and I knew that from junior high. I don't know, 7th, 8th, 9th grade, maybe all three. We played that. We played. So I used to be able to belt.
That's right, in the little band.
I was a trumpet player, man. I used to be able to play "Feel So." That was one of our go-to songs. Now we, played the generic version of it.
Yeah.
I did a pretty good job of it, but not like. So anyway, so he was one of the folks that passed. Now, you said in 4, so the two big ones we're going to talk about. Who's the third that I'm missing?
Theo Huxtable.
Yes, you're right. Theo Huxtable.
Malcolm Jamal Warner.
Malcolm Jamal Warner passed away.
I think he had stuff. I think he had a show, like a sitcom on network TV not too long ago.
Was it Malcolm and Eddie or something? That maybe Eddie Griffin? I think that was the case. He was, and he was only, I think, 52 years old.
Yeah, got caught in a riptide in Costa Rica swimming with his, I think, like an 8-year-old child.
That's horrible. When I first heard that, some of the memes saying, who knew that Theo was hanging out at the Obama house in Martha's Vineyard, because that's the last time I heard of anyone of
Just a,
of note
a, a
drowning
yeah.
randomly. So yeah, rest his soul. He has passed, and he probably, I think, with all the Bill Cosby nonsense that's happened in the past. Well, the nonsense was happening way back in the day, but
Right, but the stuff that came to light.
the stuff that came out, I think, is sort of put a little bit of a, I don't know.
Well, put a damper on
Yeah.
his fame, and probably put a damper on his paycheck, to be honest with you.
Might have been, because anytime he would come up, right? Anytime anybody from that show
Right.
would come up, it always gets pulled into the Cosby stuff. So Chuck Mangione, and then Theo Huxtable passed away this past week. So who do you think was a bigger one, the wrestler or the singer?
Dude, I'd probably go Hulk.
Being the biggest name?
Yeah.
It's probably
And not necessarily
50-50.
the biggest star, but the one who probably is cross-generational, if I can go
Well,
there.
and the other person we would be talking about is Ozzy Osbourne.
Yeah.
So in the same week, Ozzy Osbourne, coming off the week before, 2 weeks before, was the big farewell concert he had up in where Black Sabbath
Mm-hmm.
or was it Birmingham? I think was it?
Yeah, somewhere. Yeah. Yeah.
And he was obviously frail in later years. He is Parkinson's had taken control, but he sang relatively, relatively well, and it was a very touching thing. But so Ozzy passes. Now, he was one of those, and to be honest, when I heard it, I traveled to Georgia this past week, and I think it happened. I don't know if it was the morning I got the news or whatever. I was
I think
traveling.
it
I
was
got
Tuesday.
Okay, yeah, I got in a rental car and I'm driving, and honestly, y'all, when I'm in my own car, in a rental car, if I have Sirius on there, I regularly listen to Channel 38, which is Ozzy's Barnyard.
Oh, really? All
Yeah,
right.
yeah, and they play a lot of hard. It's weird. I mean, one of those things like I'll listen to some metal and they'll tell stories, and every now and then they do pre-recorded stuff with him,
Mm-hmm.
but entertaining stuff. But they were playing a lot of Ozzy stuff. Look, for somebody who is as world famous as he is or was, well, he is, I still think Ozzy's underrated. When it,
It's odd because I guess Black Sabbath and even Ozzy, he had a couple of songs in the 80s that charted. Um, I think everybody remembers, Iron Man and
but that was see, Iron Man was that was Black Sabbath. So
yeah. But
I,
I'm saying I think part of the underrating could be his wife has basically kept him in the limelight for,
Right.
or at least in the news in recent decades. But that show that they did in the early days of reality shows or reality TV, I guess it was on VH1 or MTV,
right.
where it just made him look kind of goofy because you could barely understand what he was talking
Right.
about.
And a lot of cursing. I never watched it. Here's the funny thing. I never watched it. Now I know a lot about it because it became part of the zeitgeist and
Hmm.
everybody, that was the, he made himself a clown. But
Right.
going back
But
and
the
looking at
daughter got famous through that.
the son did
Kelly
as
Osbourne.
right. And the son did as well. No.
Yeah.
It was a big TV show. And that's when there's a lyric in what song is it? 1985.
Yeah, when
When did
Ozzy's, yeah.
Ozzy become what is it? An actor? Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, his cat. I mean, going back to the Iron Maiden stuff, the big things, Iron Man and Paranoid, and I'm forgetting some, but then
Was Crazy Train him or
Crazy
was
Train
that?
was him. Crazy
All
Train
right.
was him. Mom, I'm coming home. If I close
Right.
my eyes
My Mom
forever.
Coming Home was a pretty, yeah.
Beautiful song, dude.
Right.
I,
Right. Somewhere it's like a top 42.
I will put it, and you go back and listen. The dude had a great voice.
Yeah.
Uh, what was the other ones? It was Crazy Train.
What song did he have with Lita Ford?
But that was I close my eyes forever. If I
Okay.
close my eyes forever. What was the other one?
Ozzy got the bad rap. What do
Shot
you
in the
think of it?
dark. Shot in the dark.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Because
man.
he supposedly, the whole bit the head off a bat deal.
Well, that was an accident. I mean, you have the whole
Right,
story
right.
on that. He,
So it was somebody, I think he used to do, I don't know, he thought it was fake. Somebody threw it on the stage.
correct. That's the story. So it came off of when no record label wanted to touch him, they lined up a meeting. And I think it was in New York, at some around some board table, boardroom table, and apparently a lot of the execs there really didn't care for Ozzy. And to make it, I think it was Sharon's idea. Oh, everything was Sharon's idea.
Yeah.
She wanted to release when they walked in, release some white doves into the room as a peace offering. And Ozzy was drunk out of his mind. I mean, that's just, that's what he did.
Right. Ozzy was, probably wasn't the most straight and narrow guy in his day.
No, no, they actually wanted to study his DNA to find out how he survived as long as he did, doing all the things because he did it all. But anyway, so the story is in that meeting, one of the doves or something landed either on him or just whatever in his hand, and he just proceeded to put its head in its mouth and just bit the head right off of the dove, spit it out. Everybody's mortified. The meeting's over. I don't think they signed him. But that story got
Yeah,
out.
yeah. If there was apprehension before, that probably didn't
Yeah, so
smooth it
back in the
all out.
days too, that I mean, give me a break. I mean, I was watching a documentary on the road this week because we don't have HBO Max or whatever it is, but the Billy Joel documentaries on there, and there's nothing on TV anymore, so I put it on, and I actually I had time on my hands at night, and I watched it, and they were talking about the big stink when he did. Come out, Virginia, don't make me wait, you Catholic girl, start much. The big stink there was from the Catholic Church or people about only the good die young. And it's kind of quaint now thinking back, like, wow, man, those are the kind of songs.
Is Billy Catholic? I would have thought he was from, New York guy and
I don't know. I don't, no, no, no. I think he's
he's Jewish.
Jewish. Pretty sure he's
Yeah.
Jewish. But anyway, not about, he's still alive. So we're
Yeah.
not going to go to him. But so Ozzy passed. Now, one of the things that's a little annoying everybody, I guess it's natural. But once he died, every remote celebrity or wannabe celebrities or whatever all have to post about how much Ozzy meant to them. And boy, howdy, if they had a picture with him and some of the stories
Hmm.
are cool. I mean, don't get me
Well,
wrong.
but everybody's got to get in on it, man.
It's all Ozzy passed away. Look at me, look at me, look at me.
Yeah.
But to his credit, that concert they put on a couple of weeks ago was totally for charity. And supposedly it was the highest grossing charity concert in history.
Wow.
Made almost $200 million.
Wow.
Supposedly going totally to
Parkinson's, huh?
Parkinson's research and
Yeah.
various things. So, and to, and then
They say sometimes people just need that final moment. They're hanging on for that final moment. And then they go.
I mean, hat tip. Like if you would have paid Ozzy Osbourne in the mid to late '80s and what he was known for, and just the evil, I'm the Prince of Darkness, right? To end up being the beloved, right, grandpa kind of figure that everybody's just all emotional about, and he's doing charity work at the end. Hey, more power to him. So hat tip, R.I.P. Ozzy.
Yeah.
So that was another, again, it happens.
Mm-hmm.
And then out of the blue, what was it?
Hulk Hogan,
Thursday,
Terry, whatever.
Terry Bolello.
Yeah.
Is it Bolello? No,
Something Bola or
Bo,
something.
Bolo. Yeah,
Yeah. Terry B. How about
yeah.
that?
Bolello's used to be the restaurant, right?
The
And
restaurant.
Right.
Now police.
Yeah, yeah. So, yeah. Hulk Hogan. That was kind of a shocker because I saw footage of him they showed footage during the week. He looked fine. I think it was cardiac arrest.
Yeah, heart attack.
Man, look, and he wasn't that old. He was in his,
I think 72.
yeah, okay. So man,
73.
but 72, 73 with some wear and tear on him.
Yeah,
And
physical probably,
Well,
roided up.
Roy, roids for one, and just taking the physical beating that they take. They can, oh, wrestling's fake. Yeah,
Yeah,
but man,
yeah,
what they're
it's
doing.
fake, but dude, you can't jump. You can't beat 300 pounds and jump off a 5 foot rope and hit a mat.
Well, he made a funny it was a funny line or a story he told about what an idiot he was. He called himself an idiot that he chose in his career to have his closing move was more painful and damaging to him than whoever. He would do that run. He would just jump up and just land his leg across their
Yeah,
chest or their neck, whatever. But it was basically his butt. He
right,
was
right. They were already on the mat, which had some spring to it, but his butt's hitting the ground.
his back ended up so messed up over the years. He said he ended up being like 3 or 4 inches shorter because of like
Wow.
just well, you naturally get a little
Yeah,
shorter as you.
probably the upper torso shrunk.
Yeah, compression of the
Hmm.
disc and yeah, but so yeah, he's one you just and they start putting out all the old footage and yeah, I mean the guy, they're like
Also
celebrity.
had a reality show.
They all did.
But no, I would think he is one who first profited big time off of the wrestling status because he had the action figures, he had the whole, the shirts and the
All
bandanas.
right. There were two things that came together that people, the youngins, those of you of our generation, we're gonna a little walk down memory lane. Youngins that don't remember much about anything. Here's the two things the huge things that happened. One was the Rocky movie, right? So he got
Oh,
the
true, true.
he
What was his name in
he
the
was
Rock?
Thunderlips.
Thunder
He
Lips
played Thunderlips.
in Rocky 2.
Rocky two.
Was
He
it
no
2?
no no three.
3. All right.
That was also Mr. T. All right, so that was the three is when he comes back and he's all
Right.
cut
It was like an
now and
exhibition match at the beginning,
for
and
charity.
Hulk didn't take it lightly.
Correct. And it was great scenes. I mean, I remember watching that stuff in the cinema. I mean, it was entertaining as all get out.
Showed you
Mr.
how big he was too, though.
Right? Mr. T was amazing. Look, people that became caricatures of themselves later in life. I mean, that was Rocky 3 was a great movie. Great movie. What was the song? What was
Oh,
it?
was it the was that Eye of the
I
Tiger
the
or
Tiger,
the
man.
yeah?
I the Tiger. I mean, like you talk about the culture was
But it
that.
also brought back what was his name? James Brown had a song from the Rocky
No,
series.
that was four. That was
Yeah, I said the Rocky
oh,
series.
okay. That was later. That was back with Drago when they get, living in America. Hey.
Um,
All right. So that happened. So Hulk was a big name. But the other person, the person who doesn't get the credit they deserve for turning wrestling into the monster the success that it became was Cyndi Lauper.
oh yeah, that's right.
Cyndi Lauper,
She had that goofy song
girl, just want
with
to have fun, but then she put Captain Lou
right
Albano
Albano.
in her, played her dad in the video. Girls just want to have fun. Captain Lou was in wrestling,
Hmm.
so
But
they
didn't they have a couple of like wrestling gimmicks in the video?
no, not really. She did
Mhm.
I think she kind of pinched she might have put his arm behind his back or something, but
Right.
not really. But that was and then Cyndi Lauper played it up, and so that was everything came together. MTV joined
Right.
up
It
with,
was yeah. It was like all the pieces aligned.
but there you go. But that was so that's where that and then it just over the years just grew and grew and grew. And I don't watch wrestling anymore. I know it's there. I think it's still. I think it's still popular. I mean, it's
I
not.
think it's on Netflix now, I think.
Well,
Netflix and Fox.
okay. I mean,
I was like a big Sting fan. Sting the wrestler.
you were a Sting fan?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was. I was a big fan and I said big fan. I I stopped watching as a child. I mean, I didn't even watch the
They,
WrestleManias and stuff. But
you're right. I was out of it long before it got that big. But they used to have wrestling in Thibodeau at the Civic Center.
we've, yeah,
I've seen the Junkyard Dog, and I've told a story here one time long ago. There was wrestling at the Civic Center, and one of the manager guys turned in and in front of me, And I T-boned him, totaled my car, and all the wrestlers, no famous ones that I recognized at that point, were stopping to check on him. And that's when Ted Turner owned wrestling, and I said, "Good God, why did I not sue that?"
Well, I don't know that he owned all of that,
It was
did
on
he?
TNN, put on TNT, whatever network Ted Turner owned. That's when the show was on there.
Oh, and so there was a show in Thibodeau that was
It,
on TNT?
no, 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 no.
Oh, okay.
That's all the wrestlers were there, but that's when it used to be Monday Nitro or something was the
Gotcha.
wrestling thing.
No, we go back to Sunday mornings, world class. I was a
Oh
WC,
yeah, yeah, Dixie wrestling and stuff.
watching it at my Papa Morris and Mama Laridia's house, and it was Grizzly Adams.
Grizzly
Early
Adams,
on, we
bro.
talked.
Not Grizzly. Was it Grizzly Adams or
Oh,
Grizzly
Grizzly
Smith?
Smith. Grizzly
Grizzly
Smith. My
Adams was the
bad.
show.
Correct. Sorry, my bad. Grizzly Smith, the Bruiser or something. I'm not sure. I'm trying to remember who the.
I saw a dude in overalls over the weekend, like what Grizzly used to wear those, and I said, you know what? I want to get to the point where I could just walk around in bib overalls and no shirt.
There you go, Mr. Wrestling number one, Mr. Wrestling number two.
You
Uh,
had was that when you had the like the guy who acted like he was from Kuwait or something,
yeah, that
or
came later. That was the Iron Sheik.
okay, all
Those were
right.
big. Those were big. So I don't. Yeah, I kind of lost along the way. I mean, I was aware it was going on, but as a child, we watched that. It eventually came into Paul Orndorff. He was a
Uh-huh.
big Bruiser Brody, Ernie the cat, the big cat
Yeah,
lad.
yeah.
I remember. I don't think they called them WrestleManias back then, but I saw something in the Superdome, and it was Ray Candy, the Candy Man, and gosh dang it, I don't think Andre the Giant was on that one. I'm not sure if he
I
was or
saw
not.
Andre and Thibodeau.
Andre, no way.
Yeah,
Andre
back
the
with
Giant
Junkyard
wrestled
Dog
Thibodeau?
and Ted DiBiase and all, man. Yeah.
I remember in home Eric the Red. He was
Mm-hmm.
a big and he carried a bone. That was his. As a kid, I was like, man, they shouldn't let him have that bone. He always ends up hitting somebody with that bone. I think those refs aren't paying attention.
Now, my cousin in Minnesota has a podcast, which I've never listened to,
There you go.
but he has like old wrestlers on there, not like Hulk Hogan level and
Right.
everything. But he's had some on there. I just see, when he posts it, some that I recognize.
Hey man, look, it was fun, right? We used to have, me and my friend Troy Pete used to have little dials. We'd have wrestling dials. And some were official. I'm trying to think. I think some, I can remember. I think his mom made a mask for one of them. Or
Well, there was some you could get like the full size, or then they'd come in the sets, like they were, I don't know, about 6 inches and stuff. But Hulk Hogan, going back to him, there were times when he was a good guy, there were times when he was a bad guy, times when he was a good
WO.
guy.
Yeah, there's actually some pretty good documentaries out there about what was going on in wrestling. Dusty Rhodes, that was my man too.
American Dream.
Son of a plumber. Son of a plumber. But
The first white guy before Eminem to speak black.
there you go. There you go, my man. But I know somewhere in the past 100 years we've been doing this podcast, but and this is not me just going for the glory, but I did at one time. I can't officially say I met Hulk Hogan, but I was within a foot and a half, 2 feet of Hulk Hogan. I was in Memphis. I used to travel a lot. Used to work out of Memphis, and I'm in the whatever airline club it was. It was either United or Delta, whatever the club was, and it was a busy. I guess it was a Friday. Place was kind of packed. It was not a very big club. A few different rooms and stuff. And I got a chair and I sit down and I got my back to whatever, and I hear a voice behind me, and I'm like, man, I know that voice. And I just kind of lean back and look up, and there's Hulk Hogan standing right behind me, and he was standing with the Big Show.
Oh,
Dude, as big as Hulk Hogan is, the Big Show probably had, I don't know if it's 100 pounds, but he had a lot. He was big. And the funny thing to me, I always said it was kind of cute. They were looking for a place to sit, and off to the side, and not far from me, there was one or two chairs, and the Big Show walked over to look, but somebody had left their purse. I guess a woman was had gone to get a drink or going to get snacks, whatever, and left her purse there, I guess, to hold the chair. And then it's just so funny to see the Big Show turn around to Hulk Hogan and say, "Oh no, man, somebody, she's saving that chair." And I'm just like, I just thought, that is the funniest thing, man. Here on TV, the Hulk Hogan and the Big Show that, but they're really very polite, very soft.
Well, they always, talked about like and again, it's all fake and stuff. But they said, I can remember growing up when they'd have it in Thibodeau and in Homa and everything, and you'd have the bad guy and the good guy, and then you'd hear about them stopping on the way back or wherever back was, where they were going back. Two of them riding together,
Yep.
stopping getting a Coke at a store or whatever.
And kind of shatter the
Yeah.
image. Like, weren't you guys just beating on each other? And you were full of blood. What happened?
Yeah. You heal nicely.
Don't see no cuts on you. So let's hope it slows for a while. Very eventful
Yeah.
week, y'all. So R.I.P. to Theo Huxtable, Chuck Mangione, Ozzy Osbourne, and the Hulk.
And the Hulk.
Yeah, he was flexing. He was in his prime just a few months ago at the inauguration, man.
Dude, yeah.
Yeah, he was.
Calling out all the little hucksters
That's right.
or Hulksters.
Take your vitamins and all that stuff. But so there.
Well,
so
I
there,
went to a concert last night. Nobody bit any bats' heads off
Okay.
or anything. I did oddly see a guy wearing a Pantera t-shirt though.
Yeah. Well, what's odd about the Pantera T-shirt?
Because it was the guy's name was Brandon Lake, and he is a contemporary Christian artist. So it was kind of odd to see him there.
Dude saying, "I'm going to a concert. I'm wearing my concert
Yeah.
shirt."
So,
Pantera.
but dude, I was thinking. So when I went there, I said, you know what? I need to step up my t-shirt game. So I was gonna buy a t-shirt. And this shows how old I am. And it was $45, and I said, I am not paying $45
That's abuse.
for a concert T-shirt
That is
I
abuse.
know is not printed on any good quality T-shirt.
That's just well, you never know. You never know. You have to get up there and feel if it's the soft kind of because I bought a Squeeze T-shirt a few years ago. Squeeze warmed up for was it Hall and Oates? Yeah, I think Squeeze.
Oh, I like seeing that show.
Yeah, I know we had talked about it, but so I know,
Mhm.
and I got a black Squeeze T-shirt. I wear that thing. I think I was wearing it on the cruise, man. I wear that thing all the. That's you know what I'm saying. You just luck into it every now and then. Like
Yeah.
you get a T-shirt that you say like but no, man, $45 is.
Yeah, it's like I ain't waiting in line for $45 on a T-shirt.
But this good. It comes back to the fact that musical acts now make no money. They make no money selling music. And
No, tickets were over $100.
yeah, they can't pay their bills on. They don't sell albums anymore. They don't sell whatever. It's downloads, and they get. I mean, even those with massive numbers, 100 million downloads, it's a few
Yeah.
$1,000s. It's not. It's so yeah. So the tickets were 100 something bucks.
Yeah, probably close to it. If not, I don't know. My wife buys all that, so I don't know.
You just don't want to know.
Um,
Okay.
Uh, yeah, it was in Dallas at the American Airlines Center. Sold
it-
out 2 nights.
That's where the American where the Dallas Mavericks play.
Uh-huh.
I've been in
Yeah.
that building. It's not a small place.
It's not small, and it's a nice building.
Sold it out twice.
Yeah.
Again, I'll go back to that because there's no good music today, y'all. And don't get me wrong, I'm sure what this guy does is good music, but there's an angle to it, right? It's a Christian deal, and
Yeah.
hey, there's big business. Christian.
Well, he was actually on the cover of Billboard magazine a
didn't
few
know that
weeks
was still
ago.
did not know that was still a thing.
And it may not be printed, but it just talked about because there's a big rise in that style of Christian music, and basically saying that he's the face of
Okay.
that movement. So to
I'd
speak.
I'd put him up with Morgan Wallen in the checkout lane, self-checkout lane at Walmart. I probably would not know either of them if but hey, more power to him. Enough that you drove from Baton Rouge to Dallas.
Yeah.
That's
So-
it. It's commitment,
So-
bro.
But it's cool. We had a nice. My daughter's getting ready to go to college, so it was a nice little
Good stuff.
quick trip, and that's what we were right in, I guess, in the middle of what I would call downtown. That that building with the green neon lights that they always show on like football games and stuff. We were right next to that.
Okay.
My wife on the way there said, "Well, do you want to go like to either the zoo or the aquarium?" And my answer was, is a zoo inside? And he said, no. But so we ended up going to the aquarium. It was just, it was like a block from where we were staying.
Okay.
Really nice. Lot better than the one in New Orleans. But
Aquariums are so expensive, man.
I think it was $20 a piece.
Oh, that's okay. That's a steal. That's the $20 a piece is not what I was thinking. I know
And
here in
again,
Houston.
again, that's what I think. I don't know.
I got you.
But it's not like the one in, I would think it would just be fish. But this one was, had like a lot of birds and monkeys and, stuff like that.
They probably realized along the way people get bored. It's just fish.
Yeah.
We gotta
So, I
compete.
mean, it was like 3 floors. But the cool thing, we got there, I guess it opened at 10 and we got there right at 10 because we walked straight in. And it's like, I mean, it's close to a 2-hour thing. But when I tell you the line, when we got out, I bet you it was 2 hours to get in. That made me feel like I won.
Doesn't it though?
Yeah.
Doesn't it? Like when you're driving on the interstate and the other interstate is backed up for miles,
Right.
and you have that weird feeling of, oh, I feel so bad for them, but boy, I'm glad it's not me.
Yeah. Like I said, it felt like, hey, dude, I beat y'all.
Because I've been in those lines, like, oh, where's what, or you have that wreck and you're thinking you don't wish anything bad on anybody,
So,
but man,
no, but I was glad it wasn't me because I wouldn't have waited.
so
But then we grabbed some lunch near the hotel, and I just Googled, I said, where's I Googled grassy knoll, and it was like, 10-minute walk from where we were. And I said, oh, wow,
all right.
let's go check it out. And I'm not that kind of tourist type deal where but I guess it surprised me and it didn't, but around there, it's like a bunch of, I guess, independent people who are standing there, wanting to pay you to pay them for them to walk you around the little area
Tell you you're right.
and tell you the story. And I said, I know the story. I'm good. But I did think of what would make that better is if you had, now I've never done the virtual reality headset. But think about if you went up in the book repository or depository, whatever they call it, they gave you a virtual reality headset, and you could see if you could make the shot.
If they wanted to do it, accurately, they'd let you do that from the grassy knoll because that kill shot did not come from the book.
Well, I sent you the thing. I was chilling on the grassy knoll, right where the hit took place. With the building behind me. So,
and I'll say it again. Once you're there, I've been there. I've done that walk. There's a mark. I think somebody exited out on the road exactly. You know exactly where the shots hit Kennedy. Everything on TV looks bigger than it is. It's not
right.
It's not.
I kept thinking that because the grassy knoll. I said, well, hell, that's just like it's like it looks like the hill that they made to carve out the road.
Yeah, it's not that big. I saw some footage the other day because once Facebook or Instagram or X or whatever figures out, oh, you're actually going to watch these things, it starts feeding you. And I saw one that was very, very interesting about what happened with Kennedy and about how all the things and this was an official thing, I forget because there's some people that I recognize talking about it, all the things that they never do. By protocol, Secret Service protocol is you don't do these things on these trips, and about what they slow down to, the 90-degree turns, the fact that he had, as always, there's 2 Secret Service people that ride on the running boards. Well, right before they got to one of the final segments before he was shot, somebody Secret Service walks up and calls those guys off. And you could see one of the guys called off, turns around, and he's still walking with the car, and he's kind of gesturing to somebody. He's like, what up? Like, what are we doing? And they called, So, yeah, there's too many coincidences that, that almost as bad as the Secret Service in Butler, Pennsylvania, right? I mean, all the stuff.
Well, I did see right before we came on that apparently, and I think it's for the Secret Service, unless they put Trump in it, there's a golf cart now Then I don't know. Then it's like golf. They've got, you know how they have Air Force One or whatever. Well,
Right.
they've got a name for it, something one. But it looks like it's bulletproof golf cart. I think he was playing golf in Sweden or wherever he's
Scotland.
been
He's in Scotland.
this week. Okay,
He actually owns a golf course
yeah.
in Scotland that
But it looked like he was in the open golf cart, and they were following him behind that.
yeah, you know. I'm glad you got to it's funny that that's a piece of that's not funny, but you know, I'm that kind of guy too. It's like, you know, history. Like, what happened on this spot? You know, when we were in Fort Worth a couple 3 years ago, we stayed in a hotel that was the hotel he left from to go to. He got on Air Force One
Okay.
out of Fort Worth. Oh no, I take it back. It couldn't have been Air Force One. They must have been a motorcade. Anyway, Kennedy's last night alive was at this hotel in Fort Worth. But and I get a kick out of that. You know, we're not really talking about guns, but we kind of are. So shout out to Good Guys with Guns. You see what happened in Traverse City?
Was that where the Walmart thing was?
Yeah, Traverse City. I've been to Traverse City before. It's a beautiful area. It's on lakes and stuff, but apparently this wasn't the beautiful parts of Traverse City. Some dude, and the fact that they wouldn't, you can see the pictures now, but the fact they wouldn't come out and tell you who he was, where he's from, and what his name was, you know, this guy went off in a Walmart and stabbed like 11 people.
Just some random guy. I didn't read about it. I mean,
And I mean, like critically, I don't know if any of them died yet, but like,
But did he have a bone to pick with somebody?
I don't know, but
On
that
the Walmart employee?
stabbing thing is a go-to move of certain people, man. I just want to tell you, they just let you know that. All right, and then there was two people. One's getting a lot of the credit because he had the gun, but another guy, apparently some army guy or somebody with military training, got a grocery basket and did something like something to slow the guy down or try to kind of corner him. But then some other guy, a young African American gentleman with a legal, they have to point that out, with a legally owned firearm, basically, you know, used this gun, didn't shoot the guy, but disarmed him and, you know, put him down. So kind of goes back to that, guys. I mean, the guy didn't have a gun, he had a knife, but, you know, it's that old line. What's the only thing that stops a bad guy? Let's put it this way: a bad guy with a deadly weapon, intent on using it.
Yeah, good guy.
Another guy with a deadly weapon, that'll use it if they have to. But, so, I'm sure that guy's gonna be walking the streets again in about a year.
Yeah, well, if not sooner.
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah,
Probably shopping at Walmart.
But I spent I myself this past week was in Georgia. I back to where we lived many years ago, up in Habersham County, Cornelia, Georgia, up for a friend of mine.
Went to a retirement party or something, huh?
It was nice. Thankfully, I checked in with them a couple days before the event to just see, you know, hey, I just want to check on, you know, I knew the place was sort of a resort kind of thing, but I didn't know what the attire was going to be, and ended up being sort of an outside event, you know, covered area. But it's not, I mean, it's North Georgia. It's up in the mountains. So, I mean, the pictures are great. But thankfully, I checked in because they basically said, oh, yeah, we have you on the agenda. I'm like, oh.
So you were you the
I
MC?
was, yeah. I was like, they did like open thing, and then it was, you know, special comments from Dave Martin.
But when you worked there and knew this guy, were you in this same line of work where you traveled speaking?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
I mean, I went to work for the company, and then I worked there. Me and this guy were peers. I was an EVP of something. He was an EVP of something else. Later on, I left. I went to work for a bank, and then I went to work for another consulting company. And I was I was actually a competitor of this company. Then I went back to that company for a few years, and I technically reported to this guy.
Okay.
And in the past 10 years, I've been my own thing, but they're
So they did know you had some speaking ability.
Oh, yeah. I speak at their stuff every year. I'm contractually obligated to speak at stuff for them, but I'm not sure they're proud of that fact, but it's true. But
they signed it.
Yeah, that's nice. It was you know, a passing of time, man. You kind of like realize at that stage of life, bro. First of all, that I'm taking 3 days out of a week and flying myself. I didn't send anybody a bill for this. Flying to Georgia to go do this, but I mean, a really good friend and gave me an opportunity to bump around the old place.
Yeah. You go see
Very
where you used to
nostalgic.
live?
Very nostalgic. It's the first home that we brought my boys, back to. So
Hmm.
their
Did you go
first.
see it?
Oh yeah, yeah. They probably think I'm a stalker. I mean, I promise you, if I was there for a couple of days, I probably drove by the house. I walked the old mountain I used to live on. Oh yeah, I
I've
guarantee
told you
you.
this. I think I want to just even back to the college apartments. I want to go knock on the door one day and say, "Hey, give you $25. You can give me 10 minutes to walk through."
I'm very nostalgic, man. I drove all the old places, some of the old restaurants, see what's open, what's not open. Went eat at a couple little hole in the walls just because that's stuff that was there when we moved there almost 30 years ago. 30 years ago. We moved
Yeah.
out like 24, 25 years ago. Yeah, just like, the old church. I remember when I did here. Yeah, it's just I'm just that way. But also, you might, I don't know if you're this way. As we get older, especially with doing travel, when I'm on the road somewhere, I go around now with a different take of this may well be the last time I'm ever
Hmm.
here,
Yeah.
right? Kind of step, it's one of those, it's like that old cotton commercial. Stop, take a look around. This is the good stuff. You kind of like, all right, let me size up. Everything's going on here, but I did not know. I stayed at a place. It's a Hampton Inn that I've stayed in a bunch of times because this small area, really not big on
Right. Not a lot
hotels,
of places to.
and this one always was. Well, it didn't say on the website that it was under construction. It was being
Oh,
remodeled. Because right across the street from it is a brand new Fairfield Inn. I mean, shining you. That thing's been open for maybe 4 or 5 months. I didn't know it was there. That's probably where I would have stayed. But already, and it's one of those things. If I'd have canceled my room, I'd have ate a night. So
right. Right. That's the you talk about not a lot of places to stay. So my son that does software consulting, they've got a client in DeRidder, Louisiana.
okay,
Um, and not I suppose the week before last, he had to go there for the week, and he's going back for 3 days this week. And I think the only hotel around there is like a La Quinta or La Quinta, however you say it.
La Quinta.
Um, Wi-Fi is down for an uncertain amount of time.
Well, first of all, when you say DeRidder, that's I think the DeRidder Rocket, Johnny Jones, LSU basketball player.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Okay, I don't know why. I can't hear DeRidder and not think of that. Just like I can't hear the word Sorrento, but I think of my friend Lee Colley saying,
The
Sorrento,
smell of Sorrento.
the smells of Sorrento. But yeah. And up in the Georgia mountains where I was, it gets a little spotty. I'm a Verizon guy, and it gets a little spotty here or there. The hotel lobby was just nothing but crates and boxes. I mean, nothing but. The second floor was basically nonstop, just construction going on. So they put me on the third floor and said, "We're going to put you in one of the rooms that have already been fixed." I'm like, "Thanks. Awesome. Great." Get up there. They're literally working on the room next to me.
Yeah.
I mean, oh. And then the first night, I forget what bumped around, went to do a few things, get back to my room, settle in. Whenever I watch something on TV, go to the bathroom, go to wash my hands. Air, just air coming out. Huh? Called the front desk. Uh, is the water down? Oh, I'm sorry. You should have got a note. So first
Just
of
got
all,
here.
no, I didn't get a note, and two, a note wouldn't help me. What's going
Yeah.
on? Yeah, they're working on a couple of bathrooms on the second floor, and the water will be off for a couple of maybe 2 or 3 hours. I'm like,
Yeah. Right. Right.
I'm feeling luxurious. I'm an old guy. We ain't flushing.
Mhm.
But and the next day I ended up talking to the construction guys working, and they were very cool. Um, the guys, they were very I always love when people thank me for being so understanding when they don't know that I'm really not being understanding. I'm just being nice. Okay.
Yeah. I'm gonna cuss you when I leave.
I'm not cussing them. I'm not,
No, yeah.
I'm big on telling people I know it's not your fault. I know it's not your fault.
Yeah. No, we had is it what was the nicer place you stayed? Or you said that you could have stayed?
There was a Fairfield.
Is that the Marriott one?
Yeah, they're Marriott. It's not. Here's the deal. None of
Well,
these
that's where
places
we
are
stayed in Dallas.
okay. They're not
So
necessarily fancy, but they're decent, and the
no,
ones are
yeah.
nice. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Had a little you got a little 2 room or basically just one long room.
Mhm.
But you get it. We didn't get in until about 11:30 Friday night. And so you're tired, and then you said, "Man, you know how sometimes you walk in a hotel room if the AC hadn't been on in a while, it just
Yeah, yeah.
smells musky."
Hmm.
So we had that, but it smelled like instead of just a normal musk, it smelled like BO, literally like BO. And so called down to the desk and I said, "Hey man, y'all got any air freshener or something?" And she said, "Oh, we can move you." And I said, "Nah, it's freaking 11:30. I don't want to move. Just bring me up some air freshener." And she did, and it kind of killed it until the next day you leave and you come back and it's like, "Oh man, things smells BO." And I kind of figured Joey noticed that the like in front of the air conditioner, the carpet felt damp. So that's probably what it was.
You just guys breathing mold is
Yeah.
what you're doing.
So, but I told her when we were leaving, I said, I'm just want to let you know, your room kind of smells. And oh, by the way, I'm taking the pillow.
You took the pillow.
Yeah, dude, got me a new pillow. I didn't get a T-shirt at the concert, but I got a new pillow.
You don't worry about how many people have used that pillow before you.
I do. I know it's gross. But hell, you sleep on it anyway. What?
I
Yeah.
know, I know. I totally.
I'm not going to use the same pillowcase and the same pillow cover.
I see. I'd already forgotten that was one of your go-to moves. And they're like, oh, I like this
If I
pillow.
find one, I'm taking it.
It's coming with me. We're coming up toward the end of this podcast, and I want to point out and congratulate myself for how humble I am for not bragging about my
Oh,
heroism.
dude, this isn't the first time.
I
I'm
some
sure there are countless times that I don't know about,
What's that
but this
song?
isn't the first time that I've heard of an effort of pure
Heroism.
heroicism on your part.
They say that a hero will save us. I'm not. So I am getting ready to fly home from Atlanta and get to the rental car. In Atlanta, it's a huge rental car. All the rental cars the same place and big facility. And you come through and there's an escalator up to whatever floor. And to get to the tram that takes you to the airport. So big escalator going up, big 2-story, not just a two floor, big one. And there's a family, and not that it's germane to the story, but it kind of is because you hear about like some Asian families, you got like tiger moms. You hear the phrase tiger mom, meaning they're tough. They're kids grow up fast. They're
Yeah.
very okay. So that's all. So this Asian family, and
It's
they're
probably the opposite of helicopter mom.
correct. So they're ahead of me by a little ways to get toward the escalator, and it wasn't that big of a crowd. So they're going up the escalator, and they're probably about halfway up when I am getting ready to step onto the escalator. And I look up, and here's the first move that doesn't make sense. If you've got two kids, one's probably, I don't know, 5, 6, 7, the other one's maybe 3, old enough to walk, like very mobile, her own little
Right.
suitcase, rolling suitcase. Okay. When you get on an escalator, especially a big escalator, where do you put those kids?
Right in front of you.
In front of you.
Yeah. And
You
look,
put
I have a 3-year-old granddaughter.
you put
Yeah.
them in
Just because they're mobile doesn't mean they make good choices.
you put them in front of you. So I look up as I'm getting ready to step, and this kid, and I'm guessing she's 3, could have been 4, but that range, with her suitcase, well, she falls. Like the suitcase, I don't know if she trips on it or what happens, and the suitcase kind of sprawls out, and then she falls on top of it and
Right. 'Cause think
proceeds.
about it too. I've when you got a suitcase on an escalator, you got to balance yourself pretty good.
Right. It's not right. So I'm not exactly sure if it was the suitcase that tripped and she pulled. I don't know what caused it, but what we had
Could
here
have been
was
nothing. She's a little kid.
he's a kid. You got a suitcase that's getting ready to roll, and she's kind of fell on top of it, trying to stop herself. She's starting to tumble. Like she's like escalators, y'all, if y'all forget, they're metal. It's metal steps going up in a metal frame.
With grooves
Yes.
that people have lost.
They-
digits easily.
You can easily get maimed on an escalator. So she's trying to put up, and I'm just So it's kind of funny when adrenaline kicks in because, dude, I'm old. I mean, everything hurts when I do something. Dude, I go sprinting up this escalator, and I'm just telling her, "Stay still, honey. Stay still. Don't move." And I'm just because she's trying to pick herself. She's making it worse, right? I already can see she's scraped up. She's got scrapes on her leg, and I'm trying to keep her hands from
getting stuck. Little fingers.
Don't stick your little hands toward those whatever. And so I get up there, and I'm able to get one hand on the suitcase to stop that thing from sliding, and I got the other hand like on her side, her back, saying, "Stay still." And I look up. The mom was probably 4 or 5 steps ahead. Well, she turns to come, and she's like, not saying anything, by the way, not a word. And I'm like, "Hang on, baby, hang on. And then I'm realizing we're going to get to the top of this thing.
And she's still down.
Dude, when you get to the top of this thing,
you better be up.
It don't stop. You better, we're all going to be in a pile of humanity. So I'm looking at the mom saying, "Get up, get the back, pulling stuff in." And
did the mom speak English?
She knew thank you, but I didn't feel that.
she didn't know gratitude.
I didn't feel that her thank you fully reflected the effort that I just put in.
Right. And the result that you prevented.
Right. And then the dad kind of comes over and he's like, "Oh, thank you." He just, he gives a thank. But again, could have bought me a beer. Could have offered to name their dog after me.
Could have just said, "Man,
could have just,
I don't know what we were thinking."
Could have just said, "Thank God." So so they go and they just sort of hurry on their way.
Yeah. Make sure the little girl's okay.
And then I realize, I turn around and my bags are still down there. So I got to get on the down escalator, go all the way down. Now, when I got to the bottom and got my bags, there was off to the side, and this older African-American lady walks over and just says, "Thank God you were there. That was so," and I'm like, all right.
Thank you for noticing.
At least somebody here.
Yes.
Not all heroes are wearing capes, y'all, but but it was, and I did see him later, walking, and I know they probably saw me. Still didn't come over.
Still didn't thank you,
bro. I'm just saying. No, technically they said thank you.
Yeah, you would think they'd see you again and they give you the little wipe of the brow.
Man, look, it's not like thanking you for like holding the door open.
Right.
Like, thank you for sprinting up an escalator and saving our
endangering yourself. You're not supposed to be doing that.
I know. What I should have done is, I know they had to have cameras around there. I should have made the news in Atlanta. Who knows? I got to check on that.
Yeah, good. It might still be there. Maybe, W Atlanta is looking for the hero.
Good. I'm here, y'all. I hope they watch the podcast.
May be posted on their social media.
That's right.
So now the non-tiger. I was with my son and his family the other day at a restaurant, or like a taco stand, outdoor patio thing, and the non-tiger family. I looked over and I said, "Hey, I may want to pick him up." The 8-month-old was sitting there eating dirt. But
dirt's got nutrients in it.
That's right.
We probably all ate dirt back in the day.
Oh yeah. That's what I told him. I said, "I don't worry about that." My cousin, I can remember, every home had an ashtray in it. I remember my cousin would eat cigarette butts out of people's ashtrays.
Is he the one that's in prison right now?
No.
No, that guy.
No, this dude ran the Boston Marathon a few years ago.
There you go.
Dude,
getting all those nutrients from the cigarette butts he's eating. Oh man. Well, look, times are different. I know we've said this before. I remember second or third grade. I know it was Galliana Elementary, and we were all really having fun with the mercury they poured in our hands. You could roll mercury. Like you just roll it like this. Like, oh man, look at that.
How pliable that is.
Oh yeah, come on, kids, get in line. Let's all handle mercury. All right, now let's go have lunch.
Yeah. And just like your hotel, the faucet could have been broken.
There you go. There you go. But anyway, all right, man. What you think?
Yeah, bro, that's a lot.
We got, yeah. I don't need, yeah, we sort of timed it. I don't know. We're about at the hour there, give or take. But you know, whatever happens, guys, if we go an hour 5,
Oh, 10, 57.
57, same
I
price.
smell my pizza rolls are about ready.
Oh man. Oh, living life. Juan is living well. All right, everybody, we're gonna push the button. Get on out of here. See if any of this stuff stuck to tape. We hope it did. If you want to reach us, not hard, y'all. It's Dave and Juan at protonmail.com. And of course,
Right here.
right where you got it. Right where you got it. Whatever you did to be where you are, listening or watching us right now,
Do that again.
do that again. That's where we're going to be. All right. Every week we tell you it's not a hint, suggestion, or a little implication, y'all. It's a
No, man, it's a freaking mandate.
mandate. Get out there.
Must do.
Take your best shot. Live your best life. Today is a good day to have a great day. Or tomorrow.
Tomorrow's a better one.
Whatever the case may be. All right. Having a bad day, rough day. Bars
Dude,
low.
I'm sleeping on my new pillow tonight. So
We all don't have as much as Juan does to look forward to sleeping on. And with any luck, only maybe a dozen to 2 dozen people have used that pillow before.
probably more than that, but it's all right, man. I'm the last one.
They broke it in for you. All right. But anyway, hey, having a bad day, have a better one tomorrow. Having a great day, just, rinse, repeat, do all that stuff. Go out there, live your life. We're going to get back together next week, compare notes. Hopefully nobody famous or non-famous, or hopefully we don't have to in memoriams next week. But, shout out Ozzy, Hulk, Chuck, Mangione, and Theo. All right. Until then, everybody, have a great one. Love you, bro.
Back at you, man. So at the aquarium this week, just real quick story. A lot of the things like with the birds and all that stuff you had would amounted to nice chicken wire in the front of it. And it's the type of enclosures that I like because they're close. I can see them. I don't have to stretch to see in some natural habitat a half a mile away.
Yeah.
But we're going in one place, and you see, the heck they call that thing, chameleon,
Right.
those lizards that change colors, and it's hanging on the wire. And as we get close, my daughter gets in my face and said, "Don't touch the wire." And I said, "Why would you tell me that?" He said, "Because I know you're going to touch it." I said, "You're right." Shook the hell out the wire. Thing never moved, though.
It's like, well, I wasn't going to do it, but
Yeah, going to do it now.
dang. I mean,
Nah, I was going to do it.
the chameleon, as made famous by Culture Club.
Yeah. Karma, karma, karma. I have a t-shirt with that on it.
It's over. Go home.